That a man who escaped from forced quarantine at the KMTC right here in Nairobi was able to travel to his home village in Kericho at a time of the containment orders in 4 counties exemplifies the weaknesses in enforcement of these guidelines. Now, the containment period has been extended by another 21 days, with President Kenyatta promising stiffer controls. But while the police man the roadblocks, some Kenyans are cheating the system by crossing through alternative back roads, as Ruth Sarmoi found out.
Nairobi and parts of Kiambu, Machakos and Kajiado counties have been identified as coronavirus hotspots. To curb the spread of the virus to other counties, the government ordered the cessation of movement in and out of the specified areas.
To ensure that porous borders and security threats do not compromise our response to this pandemic, the security services will upgrade their alert and response measures in every border area.
Despite the border roadblocks that have been established in different areas to restrict movement in and out of Nairobi, Kenyans are still finding ways to unlock themselves out of the city. But in order to do so, it requires a lot of craftiness.
After numerous claims that Kenyans were traveling from and to the Nairobi metropolitan area, the assignment was cut out. The first stop was the containment border post just a few kilometers after Ndenderu in Kiambu County. We are able to cross the barrier after identifying ourselves to the officers, who then verify our documents. At the Rironi roadblock along the Nairobi-Nakuru highway, tens of trucks loaded with goods are awaiting inspection and their drivers queue for screening. While other vehicles are not allowed through, another kind of traffic is building up in this area. Persons being ferried on motorcycles are crisscrossing this section of the road. Others are on foot. My colleagues are allowed past the roadblock, but I proceed along a different route back to the containment zone. I hop onto a boda to test my luck. My rider is not aware of this mission, and neither does he know that I am filming as we navigate through this off-road. The journey is bumpy and treacherous, and along the way the rider had to ask whether there were officers patrolling the route, which cuts through the village. The rider makes a number of random stops to inquire if there are police patrols and where they could be. His knowledge of the area is evident. He eventually joins the main road undetected by police surveillance. We also notice several motorbikes offering transport to commuters. Here, social distancing is not observed, as some motorbikes carry 2 passengers. We attempt to use some of the back routes in the larger vehicle. Along the way, we see officers patrolling the area. Guided by directions from residents, we drive all the way to Kamandura Mahimayu Narok Road and Kwambere, which connects the busy Nairobi-Nakuru highway. From here, anyone wishing to travel deeper into the Rift Valley or to the western parts of Kenya can now do so. The government has challenged Kenyans to abide by the laid-down guidelines, which they argue are pertinent in the fight against coronavirus. The Ministry of Health has also pointed out some impediments in this fight, among them indiscipline, not only by the citizens but also by the police, who receive bribes to look the other way.
I am informed that there are people transporting even in matatus into and out of the city. And once they get to a roadblock, they pay and come round the roadblock and walk and are taken again by an empty vehicle or otherwise.
The containment order has been extended by another 21 days, which means Kenyans will continue to have restricted movement. The roadblocks have been placed in Kamulu on Kangundo Road, Smallworld and Katani on Mombasa Road, Isinya, Kiserian and Ngong on Ngong Road, Mutarakwa, Uplands, Tinganga and Rironi on the Nairobi-Nakuru Highway, and Chania Bridge and Garissa Road on Thika Superhighway. Ruth Sarmoi, NTV.